afternoon, good morning, good evening to you wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to my channel, and we continue our series on the use of AI in scientific endeavor and research. And today we're going to talk about something quite important to every research, whether you are a PhD, undergraduate, or you are even a senior researcher. So our topic today is how we can find research gaps, how we can fulfill research gaps. If you're struggling to find research gaps, you are not alone. It's quite a common and difficult endeavor for most researchers. And when you find a good one, you can actually create impact and create very good impact to the society and to your community as a scientist also. But here you are, ChatGPT can help you uncover original, even some proposal-worthy ideas that can be perfect for your thesis, your dissertations, and even for you to apply for grants and funding. So, what are research gaps? They are just missing pieces of information in the literature, something that is not yet explored. It is unclear or it is underdeveloped. And according to this chart that you have here, this is reference to the academicpapers.co.uk. You can have 7 types of research gaps or literature gaps. One, it can be evidence-based gap, which means the evidence is lacking in the literature. It can be a knowledge gap. It can be a practical knowledge conflict gap. It can be a gap in the methods or empirical gap, and it can be quite theoretical or a population-based gap, which means in the previous research, only few populations are being sampled or are being focused upon. So today we're going to learn how to use ChatGPT to identify research gaps. So the second step is after understanding what research gaps are, you need to be able to prompt your ChatGPT to give you the correct and reasonable answers when you try to look for it online. And one of these prompts is to just search using the following keyword: current research trends, and then you can put in the field of study or your specialization. And there are no limits to whatever you want to search for. Maybe you want to search for 3 unexplored or emerging areas in the field of seismology or something like that. And then you can say 5, you can say 10, it's up to you. But you really have to use the word current. Current is a keyword there to use for the research. The next step is to limit it, to filter it based on years. So you can add to the prompt by saying from 2018 to 2024, what are research gaps that exist in the field of seismology, for example, or in the field of petroleum geology, for example, which will keep, and you can even instruct the prompt to keep the suggestions current and grounded in recent work. That way you are limiting the prompt to very recent works and very detailed work also. And once you have your prompt returned, you can cross-check this on a platform like Google Scholar. Ordinarily, I would have recommended something like Scopus or Web of Science, but you need access. You need institutional access, or you buy subscriptions to these platforms. But Google Scholar is free for you, so you can go to Google Scholar, add some skills to it, and then you can do your filtering, copying in the suggestion, and do some search, and even limit the number of articles and also the citations, and remove the ones that you think are outdated, and there are real gaps that are worth exploring. In addition to that, you can go back after doing that to improve your prompt by saying, for example, which populations are studied in this topic, what methods are missing, which means you are looking at a methodological gap, what is consensus lacking or where is consensus lacking in this area of study. You have to be more specific to get a better output from your prompts. Now let's move to ChatGPT and try something out. The first step is we want to identify a research gap, right? So we go to our ChatGPT, and then let's, for example, use biological science today. So remember, you have to use the prompt. You start with you have to use the keyword research current and trend. So I usually recommend you adding symbols, different special symbols. If you use asterisks, for example, let's say we are looking for research, we are looking for gaps or emerging areas in the field of molecular biology, for example. So let's say based on current research trends in molecular biology, what are the 3 unexplored or emerging areas? And you close it with another asterisk. I will copy this so you see the difference when you without the symbols, and you press enter for it to execute the prompt. Based on current trends in molecular biology as of 2025, the following 3 unexplored or emerging areas stand out due to their novelty, potential impact, and limited existing literature work. The first one is in non-coding RNA regulation. This is because the role of mRNA modification like M6A is increasingly studied. Their function in non-coding RNAs, including RNAs, Inc RNA, Sac RNA, is largely unexplored. So this is a very good one. You can check this out, and you can go for that by saying you want to limit this to. You already said 2025, right? But you can even backtrack it by saying limit the search to the last 10 years, not just 2025, just to see if there are going to be differences. Limit the search to the last 10 years. And it's still the same. So that means epitranscriptomics of a non-coding RNA is still very current. And the gap is that limited mechanistic studies on how these modifications influence RNA protein interactions, nuclear localization, or RNA decay is a huge gap. Increasing interest in mod RNA therapeutics and epitranscriptomic biomarkers for disease. So this is quite an interesting field. It's still the 3 of them, right? And then yes, you want a slide deck for that. No, we don't want that. So what we can now do is that let's move to Google Scholar and try to find if these are going to be truly explorable and emerging fields. So we copy this, we go to Google Scholar, and then Google Scholar, we put this topic, and see, wow, the dark side of this, epigenic, and these are papers, okay, they are, let's sort the paper from the last 10 years. So we say 2015, right, to 2025. Notice that the first result returned 7,170 results. So we see this 7,300. We can do something and say we can quote this by saying we had quote marks and use and sign, and then remove the and, because the and could be a factor in returning so many results, which means this is exclusively epitranscriptomics and non-coding RNA regulations, and the result should be just 29, yes, and 29 under 3 seconds, and this is the difference when you had a Boolean operation. If you use or sign, you can get more results because it's going to pick everything with epi, non-coding, transcriptomics, RNA regulation. But and is the best way to do it and to filter out the non-relevant work. And this is from, we can even go a bit further and say from 2020 to 2025, and that should be 28. So it's really an emerging field because we have 28 results from the last 5 years. Let's say just the last year alone, let's see, and 13 results, 13 articles that were published on this. So you can, if you had Boolean operations, that's one way to improve your prompt. And we can also do more by saying we want to add context to the prompt. So if we go back to the prompt, we can say, for example, we want to study this. We want to study this in the context of climate change, right? If there is any relationship, and we'll see. Now you've noticed that the research opportunities are more and the applications are more, and then you see that it's actually relevant to abiotic stresses like heat, drought, salinity, and pollutants. And you see all these three topics have also been highlighted, and you can develop it further into a full research proposal, objective, and do all of those. So once again, a research gap is just that thing that is not existing, that is unexplored, unclear, or underdeveloped, and it can fall into 7 categories. It can be evidence-based, knowledge-based, practical knowledge conflict, method, empirical, theoretical gap, or population one. To do this to find the best prompt, you have to use the keyword current research trend. Those are the 3 keywords, and then relative to the field of study that you are working on. And then you can filter it to improve it. You can filter it to year, the last 10 years, last 20 years, so that the research is current and grounded, right, in research works. And you can also validate, because it's always good to validate whatever result you get from ChatGPT or other AI tools, because they are generative AI tools, right? So you need to train them. They get better when you train them. So you can do a cross-checking in Google Scholar. And then you can improve the prompts by, bringing in other additional things like populations, methodologies, the consensus, and so on. You have to be more specific to be able to use this tool. My advice is you should stop guessing. You can start doing a smarter research work by combining these skills. And ChatGPT is there for you as a gap finder. It can boost your ideas and be a very good research assistant. Once again, subscribe to the channel. More content are coming in, and I'm sure you're going to be blown away with the next few videos that I'm going to upload. Subscribe, like, share this, and comment also for me to improve on the content that I'm delivering to you. Thank you. Bye.